Hello and welcome to the Critically Clueless. I'm a monk, and today we are in Mountain Blade 2 Bannerlords, and today's video is all about morale and the system and effect that it has on you and your party in game. And of course, if that's the kind of video that you want to see, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget we do actually have an active and growing Discord full of Bannerlord players. So if you have a question or something you don't fully understand, you can just ask it there in a server. The link for that is down in the description. But anyway, enough of that, let's get into the video. What exactly is morale? And what effect does it have on your game? Well, in short, it is your troops' spirit. It's how happy they are with you and your leadership, whether it is being a part of your army or willing to die for you on the battlefield. A high morale can be the difference sometimes between winning and losing, especially if you are outnumbered. For instance, if you have a low morale or suffer heavy defeats, your troops may leave you, abandon you. It will mean that if they feel that the battle that you are currently in is taking a turn for the worse, in other words, going the other way and you're not winning, that's when they're more likely to turn and run away and retreat during the middle of the battle without you doing so or saying so. Therefore, having a high morale means that your troops will fight longer and harder for you. Did you know that if you go into battle against overwhelming odds, that alone can have an impact in the morale of your troops? If you start taking heavy losses, then your troops could turn and completely flee. So again, having that high morale, being able to keep a high morale, is going to ensure that your troops stay under your command for longer. Now, as you can see here in the top middle of the screen, these are the different troops that I have under my command right now, and every single section, whether it be infantry, archers or cavalry, right at the top will tell you how much morale that unit type or that garrison actually has. If that drops too low, that's when they will shoot. And it's a really good thing to keep an eye on in the middle of your battle, because you can see how your troops are faring, if they need any help, for instance, or if they are likely to flee. Did you know that your own actions on the battlefield will have an impact over your troops' morale? So if you go around killing a ton of troops, then that will have a positive effect on the morale. Of course, the opposite is true as well. If you do bad and you end up falling, your troops will take a morale hit. Even if you outnumber troops sometimes, having a low morale could mean the difference between winning and losing, because your troops will not be fighting as hard. Now, there's a few different things that we can do during the course of our game to ensure that we have a high morale, and there's a few easy things that we can kind of often overlook. For instance, when you win a tournament, when you win a battle, you do actually gain a small morale boost. On top of that, simply having food, making sure your troops are fed or have a variety of different food, can also impact the morale of your troops. Especially, I find the food part. Hey, if you don't feed your troops, they're not going to be wanting to serve under you after all, and if they're starving, they're probably going to be leaving you. Now, when you're on the world map, if you get your cursor and highlight the morale, you can see the list of things that are causing you to have a buff or a debuff in your party morale. Now, you do get a base morale, you get recent events, so for instance, winning a battle. You've got your personal morale as well, which is kind of stuff that would be perks that you have personally taken up. And then you've got your food variety. So there are 8 different forms of food, and these will all have an effect on the morale on your troops. Having more of a variety of food will mean your troops are happier. Now, as you can see, the different foods are grain, fish, cheese, butter, olives, grape, beer, and meat. All of these your troops will eat, and all of these will help boost up that morale. There is actually a perk that means you don't need to have a huge variety, and of course it is completely up to you whether you get that or not. Personally, I think it helps quite a bit. Anyway, let's pop into the perks that I would recommend you pick up if you feel morale isn't where it should be in your game. Now, an easy perk to be looking at would be tactics. In fact, you have yourselves a little option. You have loose formations or tight formations, both of these being valid choices. Basically, your troops receive 25% less morale penalty from casualties. I would recommend you guys go with tight formation, because what this means is you can use things like shield wall, which of course you're going to be using to protect your archers. They're going to be taking heavy cavalry loss anyway. So having tight formation does mean that your troops are going to be able to retain more of that morale while on the battlefield. Next up, sticking with tactics at level 125, you have Improviser, no morale penalty for a disorganized state in battles when you sally out or when you are being attacked. Personally, I find this is a good little one to pick up if you make it this far during tactics, that is anyway. Moving over to stewardship now, and the first perk that you can actually pick up is Spartan. Here you get no morale penalty for having a single type of food. This perk can be massive, especially if you are struggling or have low income when it comes to actually making sure you have a huge variety of food in the bank. Then if we move over to level 125, this perk right here increases the party morale by 4 if the number of mounted troops is greater than the non-cavalry troops in your party. Personally, I think that perk's a really nice one to pick up. Now, if we move over to Charm, and this isn't one that I would recommend picking up because I think the other perk is too overpowered, but the very first perk you can pick up here is Self Promoter. You gain 1 morale while in a besieged settlement. So that's when you are being attacked in your town or your castle. You get that extra morale boost so your troops don't freak out when outnumbered. But you are going to find that leadership is where you're going to find the most perks that are going to be useful for boosting morale. Now at level 50, you have a choice. On one hand, you have a perk that will give you 4 morale for if you are attacking another party. And on the other hand, you are given 8 morale at the beginning of the battle if you are the one defending, if you are being attacked. So it really depends on how your game is going and what you're doing as to which one you should pick. At level 125, I quite like Presence because here it removes the morale penalty for recruiting prisoners of your own culture. Now, I don't know about you, but I do like recruiting prisoners, and doing so has a huge impact on the morale of your current troops. If you recruit too many prisoners, it really does make a huge dent in your morale. But again, with this perk, it's sort of your own culture, as in your own type of troop, you get no penalty. At level 175, you have Uplifting Spirit. This perk basically just makes you a better general in all cases. You increase the battle morale by 10 during siege assaults and defenses. So it doesn't matter if you're attacking or defending, you're going to get that buff. And then we have Great Leader at 225. And with this, at the beginning of battle, the morale of all your troops is increased by a flat 5. And also, any troops that have the same culture as the leader as you get an additional 5 points bonus here as well. And lastly, in leadership, we do have We Pledge Our Swords, which does give us extra morale if we have tier 6 troops. However, for me, the perk above that is far too good. It really is up to you. If you're struggling with morale, it's one that you can pick up as well. But there you have it, guys. That is a quick rundown on morale and how it affects your game. It's just one of the very many mechanics within this game that it really doesn't explain or tell you. You kind of have to figure this stuff out for yourself. Hopefully this video has helped you understand this system a little bit better. If it has, don't forget to drop us a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're not already. And again, we do have that Discord if you have any questions, if you're stuck on anything, or just want someone to chat to and tell your adventures. We do have that Discord. The link for that is down in the description. But until next time, I've been a monk, we've been Critically Clueless, and I will see you in the next video real soon. Until then, take it easy and happy gaming.